They say the deepest secrets are neither buried beneath mountains nor kept in distant temples. They are right here within your reach, hidden in the simplest everyday gestures, and you repeat them every day. Without realizing, you're knocking on the door of an ancient power. What if I told you that by washing your face in the morning, you can cleanse not only your skin but also your soul? What if this simple gesture had its roots in ancient rituals of wise men who understood the hidden structure of the universe? And what if every drop of water that touches your skin, every salt crystal that dissolves in it, was a tool for transforming your energy? What you're about to discover isn't a beauty trick or a fashionable superstition. It's a silent ritual from a time when body, mind and soul were still one, when the face wasn't just a mask we showed the world, but a sacred map, a mirror of the soul, a vibrating antenna that captures and radiates energy. And this mirror becomes dirty from unspoken emotions, words swallowed, glances that have absorbed the fine dust of every interaction, every thought and every judgment. The ancients knew this. They knew that the face needed to be cleansed not only externally, but also internally. And they used two primal elements for this: water and salt, not by chance, but by correspondence. Water flows, carries, purifies. Salt protects, structures, and elevates. Together they form a code, a sacred formula. Hermes Trismegistus, the sage who said, "As above, so below," taught that every ritual begins with purification, not just any purification, but one that opens subtle channels, awakens consciousness, and aligns the body with its purpose. The face was the starting point, because what you show to the world begins with what you carry within. This video not only shows you how to wash your face with salt and water, it also shows you why this gesture can transform your energy. It guides you through its esoteric origins, its symbolic power, and its effects on your energy field. And it offers practical guidance on how to integrate this sacred act into your daily life. That you are here is no coincidence. Something within you is ready to remember. Prepare yourself. Your everyday life will become sacred, and your face will be the first altar. Since ancient times, water and salt have been considered not just natural elements, but living principles, guardians of the invisible, protectors of the gates that connect the physical world with the subtle. To understand the power of washing the face with salt and water, we must abandon the modern perspective that reduces everything to matter and utility. We must see the world again as the ancients did, as a web of living symbols, in which every substance has a soul and every everyday action is a key that unlocks hidden realities. In Egypt, the cradle of mysteries and hermetic wisdom, purification rituals were the first step toward entering the sacred world. No initiate approached the gods or began deep meditation without first purifying themselves with mineral-rich water. For them, salt was not an ordinary cleansing agent, but a magical act, a reordering of the vibrational field. Hermes Trismegistus taught that the body is the temple of the soul, and that every spiritual transformation begins with conscious contact with the elements. Facial cleansing was considered an energetic reprogramming, a way to lift the veil the world places over one daily, so that one could once again see with the eyes of the spirit. But Egypt wasn't the only country familiar with this wisdom. In Hebrew tradition, ritual baths involved mixing flowing water with natural salts to restore purity after moments of spiritual impurity. In the Indian Vedas, salt was considered a sacred substance capable of absorbing negative energies. Water, called papa, symbolized the divine feminine, the source of life and purifier. For the ancient Greeks, salt was a gift from Poseidon, the god of the sea, and a symbol of ancient wisdom. The philosopher Empedocles described water as one of the four eternal elements from which all things are composed, including the human soul. He taught that the union of water with other elements represents a direct dialogue with the secret structure of the cosmos. Even the Gnostic Gospels contain the idea that the human face is the living image of the inner light, and therefore, like an altar, must be purified with water or saltone. The face is the point of contact between the inner and the outer. This is where the soul manifests and where the traces of our experiences remain. In many shamanic cultures, energetic cleansing begins with the face. This is where the soul exhales, and this is where we absorb gazes, intentions, and judgments. Therefore, washing the face with water and salt is neither superstition nor a spiritual fad. It's an ancient practice born out of the deep understanding that the body, especially the face, needs to be de-stressed and recalibrated. If the body is a temple, the face is its gateway, and every true ritual begins there. Consider the face not just as skin, muscles, or features, but as a living symbol. It is the stage upon which the soul expresses itself, and the mask in which unspoken emotions gather. It is an energetic interface, a door between our inner self and what the world projects onto us. Like any door, it must be opened, closed, and cleansed. Every day as we face the world, our face acts as both a shield and a sponge. It absorbs glances, gestures, tensions, and even thoughts that aren't ours. A frown that isn't ours, a gesture that isn't born of our truth. Little by little, our face becomes an archive of the unspoken and, like any saturated archive, begins to distort. Water and salt are therefore not applied arbitrarily. Each has its role in the ritual. Water is more than a liquid. It is the universal feminine principle, a symbol of the soul in motion, of emotional flow. Its receptive structure responds to human intentions. As Masaru Emoto's studies show, when we deliberately apply charged water to our face, we not only cleanse it, we reprogram it. Water carries memories and can also release them. Salt, in turn, is the crystal of the earth. It is pure geometry, a solid structure that absorbs, orders, and transforms. It is the symbol of the earth element in its most luminous form. It absorbs density, repels invading energies, and restores vibrational patterns. In alchemy, it is considered a vehicle of transmutation, a container for mineralized solar energy. Water and salt together form a sacred binomial, the principle of fluidity and solidity, of cleansing and protection, of lifting and structuring. It is duality in balance. When you apply this mixture to your face, you not only wash your skin, but activate a spiritual technology that harmonizes what has disrupted the world. The ritual begins with preparing the vessel, not as if filling a glass, but as if summoning a presence. Use a ceramic or glass vessel. Avoid plastic, as it doesn't retain energy as well. Fill it with warm, not hot water. This temperature represents the balance between active and passive energies. Add sea salt or Himalayan salt, never refined as it has lost its soul. Now the essential gesture. Mindfully direct the water to your hands and then to your face. This isn't to cool you down, but to mark a portal. Close your eyes and breathe. Feel the invisible begin to move. That which you can't see but has always been there. External energies, borrowed thoughts, memories from the previous day. Imagine water and salt as a vibrating caress. Feel the emotional residue dissolving and your energy field being reorganized. Despite its simplicity, this act is an affirmation. I free myself, I purify myself, I return to myself. And here something fundamental happens. As you cleanse your face, it begins to reflect a new truth. It's no longer just a collection of learned gestures or inherited emotions, but becomes a polished mirror that, when cleansed, attracts a new reality. Other people, synchronized situations, opportunities that resonate at your new frequency. Washing your face daily with salt water is like rebooting your system to close the energetic cycle of the night and open a clear channel for the day. Hermes said every initiate should begin the day as if it were their first. And to achieve this, the face must be cleansed not only of dust, but also of history. If you begin this ritual with intention, you will experience a deeper transformation than you can imagine. Gestures don't just affect the surface of the body and release muscle tension. They change our perception, our identity, and our way of being in the world. Our face is not only what we show, but also what we filter. Through our eyes, mouth, and skin, we absorb not only light, but also the projections of others. Judgments, desires, and emotions. Spiritually speaking, these are psychic charges that stick. These burdens aren't visible, but they make themselves felt. They weigh on you like a feeling of unease upon waking, like a strange gesture in the mirror that you don't recognize. Sometimes you don't see yourself properly, or you see a distorted version, shaped by what you've allowed others to leave behind, and therein lies the depth. The face not only communicates outwardly, but also reflects inwardly. What we project, we ultimately believe. Your face reveals fatigue, stiffness, or anxiety day after day, even without you saying it. You believe it and live this reality. Therefore, washing your face with salt and water is not a superficial gesture, but an act of reclaiming your energetic sovereignty, of reclaiming yourself, of erasing traces that are not yours, but have become part of your way of being. With this ancient blend, you can dissolve masks and deactivate illicitly entrenched patterns. A little discussed secret of modern spirituality is that the body, especially the face, is a magical mirror. But like any mirror, it can become clouded and reflect a false image if it is covered with the dust of our unconscious experiences. Herein lies another hidden aspect of salt water, its ability to erase emotional memories stored in the body. Emotions aren't just stored in the heart. Muscles, skin, and even bones also store records. Every suppressed emotion, every unspoken word, leaves traces in the micro-expressions of the face. And if you never let them go, you begin to believe them to be true and eventually become them. When practiced regularly, the ritual acts like a symbolic reboot. Consistency is crucial. It's not about doing it one day and expecting miracles, but about building a new energy field and shaping a purer, more authentic vibration. Over time, you'll notice changes. People will perceive you differently. Your interactions will become smoother, and negative situations will no longer affect you as strongly as before. Not because the world has changed, but because you've reorganized your energy. This is vibration in action. You'll also notice clearer dreams and a more alert mind at dawn. A clean face becomes the symbol of a clear mind. The emotional burden between the eyebrows dissolves, and your eyes appear more alive, not due to physical changes, but due to the inner light that shines unfiltered. And each time you perform the ritual, something even more subtle happens. You enter a sacred place. It's not just about washing your face. Imagine yourself entering a temple. In that moment, you remember who you are, where you come from, what you've carried with you, what doesn't belong to you, and what you can let go of. Water and salt cease to be objects and become masters. The true power of a ritual lies in consistency and awareness, not in complexity. If washing your face with salt water has awakened something deep within you, don't let it remain a mere theory. Make this practice an anchor, a sacred habit, a daily routine that sets the rhythm of your inner life. The first piece of advice is to give the ritual its own time and space. There is no prayer. Don't confuse it with frantically brushing your teeth or drinking coffee. Do it before you face the world, before checking your phone, reading the news, or responding to messages, because this moment is your first connection of the day, namely with yourself. Prepare the environment. You don't need an altar, just silence. If possible, light a candle and let the flame be your witness. Fill a container with warm water, neither hot nor cold, and add a spoonful of coarse salt. You can use sea salt, Himalayan salt, or fleur de sel. Avoid refined salt, as it loses its geometry and energy. When standing in front of a mirror, don't judge yourself. Don't try to correct or evaluate yourself. Simply observe. Notice the presence before you. This is your soul in human form. Take 3 deep breaths and feel the gravity of your body. Return to yourself. Return to your face. Take the water with both hands and gently run it over your face. Close your eyes, don't rub, but let the water glide over you as if you were blessing it, as if you were honoring it. When the water and salt touch your skin, speak softly or in a subdued voice. I let go, I cleanse myself, I acknowledge myself. Do this for 7 days. At first, it may only be a little, but by the 4th or 5th day, something will release. You may sleep better, breathe more deeply, or notice a subtle shift in how others perceive you or in your self-image. If possible, repeat the ritual in the evening, especially if the day was emotionally intense. With a lot of noise, people and emotions, the face is like an antenna and needs rest. Salt dissolves what doesn't belong to you. Water restores fluidity. You can also add a personal affirmation as an activation code. For example, my face reflects my truth, or I allow what doesn't belong to me to dissolve and my essence to return. Use phrases that resonate with you and are crucial. And perhaps most importantly, don't take this act for granted. Magic disappears when the soul isn't present. Maintain the intention, even if only for a minute. Make it your sacred minute. Remember, simplicity is not weakness. It is purity, clarity, and strength. Make water and salt a daily habit, not as a superstition, but as a spiritual art. Because with every conscious cleansing, you tell the universe, I am awake, I'm ready, I'm centered, and that changes everything. We live in a time where the sacred seems to be reserved for ancient temples, dusty texts, and forgotten languages. But the deepest truth is, the sacred is here now, in your body, on your face, in your breath, in the simplest gesture every morning. Washing the face with salt and water is neither a custom, nor an aesthetic, nor a folklore. It is a reminder that one is a temple, a portal, an alchemy in motion. This ritual, originating from the heart of the Hermetic schools, has endured for millennia, not because it was imposed, but because it was felt. When a practice touches the invisible fibers of the soul, it survives oblivion, science, and fashion, remaining like a silent seed, waiting to be rediscovered by those who are ready. If you've made it this far, you belong. This isn't just information, but transmission, reactivation, a key that has been slumbering in your energetic memory and has awakened today. Don't ask too many questions. Don't try to explain, just feel. Observe what's moving within you now. Calmness, curiosity, wonder. This too is part of the ritual. Now you know that your face isn't just what others see, but the mirror that captures what you experience, what you hide, what you carry within. By cleansing it with water and salt, you not only refresh yourself, but also liberate yourself. You don't just remove dirt, you create clarity. You give yourself permission to begin anew. And in this fast-paced world, that's an act of inner revolution. Do this every morning, not out of a sense of duty, but out of affirmation, as a sign of your sovereignty. You decide which energy flows in and which flows out. You choose which face you face the world with, the one you inherited from chaos, or the one you created with intention. And if this exercise already begins to resonate within you, if you feel that something has opened, calmed and clarified, don't keep it to yourself. Share it and send it to everyone who needs it. Write in the comments, my face is my temple and I am its guardian. May this sentence not just be text, but your energetic signature, your vibrational seal. And if this inner journey has touched your soul, subscribe to the channel, activate the bell, and like this video, so together we can continue exploring these secrets that may be forgotten but not lost. Here, every word has been carefully placed. Every video is a door, and you decide whether to go through it. Water and salt await in your kitchen. The mirror will be there every morning. All that's missing is your presence. And that, dear guardian, is true magic.